time. It has come for the 1 year Shotcast anniversary extravaganza. What do you have for us, Brett? To ring everybody in.
1 year gone, and I must trouble you with an old man's wheezing waffle before we fill our bellies full of liquor. And what a year it has been. Hopefully your heads are all a little fuller than they were last year, and you have this whole episode ahead of you to get them nice and empty before it ends. We have had some goofs and gaffes, but most importantly, we have had the time of our lives. Thank you to everyone who has listened this past year, followed and shared, and liked this. Oh, I already said that. To another year! What would it be if I said something perfect? It wouldn't be the Shotcast, would it?
That was beautiful, Brett.
Thank you.
Did you write that yourself?
Nope. Did you not know where that was from? Another year gone. I just put my own words into it.
Who gave you that idea?
Me.
Oh, I feel like that's something I would have said that would have prompted you to do that.
No.
Oh. Well, Brett rang in our 1 year Shotcast anniversary in the best way possible. Harry Potter!
Yep.
Well, Brett did a fantastic job opening the show. So, without further ado, as I always say, welcome to this week's episode of the Shotcast. I am Nick.
I am Brett.
And we are here to bring you the week's top news stories, followed by some goofs, giggles, and gaggles, apparently, according to Brett.
Goofs and gaffs.
However, as we've been promoting, this episode is even more special. That doesn't make sense. This episode is more What am I trying to say here?
This episode is top of the line. This is the creme de la creme of our podcast.
This episode is going to be far different than any others because in this particular episode, we are celebrating our 1 year Shotcast anniversary. Whee!
And this Shotcast is going to be so damn long. We might split it into part 1, part 2. Who knows?
Let's hope that doesn't go that long. But as Brett and I...
We have how many segments?
Lot. We do. We're going all out for this one. And as Brett and I have been talking to you about for the past couple of weeks, we were going to invoke the original Shotcast, and we used to get not just drunk, but obliterated.
Yeah, where we had to not post it.
So hopefully we'll actually get to post this one, and Brett won't say he's a veggie something or other like he did about a year ago. But this Shotcast, we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary. We are super excited, aren't we, Brett?
Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to post. I think I know what I'm going to post on social media this week.
What?
I'm a stalk of cabbage. My face.
Oh,
cabbage.
Yes. Yep. There we go. If
what
you still
spawned
have that
from
picture.
the Forbidden Podcast? It'll be like a little secret.
Yes, Brett and I always talk about one of our original Shotcasts where we couldn't post it because, well, we took it a bit too far. And maybe that'll happen again for this one.
Let's just say we woke up at 10 p.m. hungover.
Yes, because we started at 11 a.m. Learn that the hard way. But anyhow, in terms of updates for the Shotcast, well, still working on that website.
God. Well, you said you have more time Thanksgiving to work on.
I'll try and get it done over the Thanksgiving holiday.
Just so busy.
We're definitely making moves on Instagram. We're trying to post from that more. Brett got a Facebook page up and running.
Yeah, we have actually some activity on that. So
maybe someday we'll get off of SoundCloud and move over to a bunch of other platforms, right, Brett?
Yeah, we were supposed to do it today, but then we got way too busy playing Spyro, so
yes.
Priorities.
Yep, absolutely in priorities. But overall, I think this has been a fun thing that Brett and I just started having fun with, and really looking back on the past year, we're both quite shocked where this has come in terms of just where we're at with it, and we realize as we're kind of going through some previous topics to talk about during some of our segments today, we are kind of archiving news right now.
Yeah.
In our podcast, because we have saved every single show right up, and I've been looking back at the news, and boy, oh boy, has it been busy since November of 2017.
Looking back on the news, I don't think 2018 was as bad as like 2016, 2017.
No, I would agree.
It's been a
with you.
very average, normal year, in my opinion.
I don't know. We've still had a lot of things happen, but I'm just looking back on some of the different news stories. It's interesting to see what happens over the course of a year, I suppose. And it's been actually a lot of fun getting to archive that and go through and relive that in various ways. But as I've said, this show's going to be a bit different because, well, we're going all out. So we're going to start off with, of course, our top news stories, which is our first segment. We threw in an extra bonus story this time around, as we typically do for Drunkcast. And then we are going to go into segment 1.5, where we reminisce over our favorite news stories. So Brett has chosen a news story that he found to be his favorite over the past year, and I have chosen mine, and we're going to reminisce and talk about them. And then we're going to move into our actual second segment, which is a year in review, where hopefully by that time Brett and I are drunk and we can just start spouting off different memories from the Shotcast over the past year and reminisce and have a good time. Segment 3, we're going back to conspiracy theories, our topic of the week, because Brett and I, at some point this past year, did a segment on conspiracy theories, and that was a lot of fun.
Go back and listen to the episode. It's actually a good one.
Yeah, so this is actually going to be a lot of fun with what we're going to talk about.
I said that like they're all shit, but that's a good one.
Right. Segment 5 is going to be our top liquor and beer. Brett, are we going to be able to make it through all this?
Yes.
Segment 5.
I'm actually going to take it a little bit easier than... Because we have so many segments.
Oh, pish pocky. Wherever the wind takes us.
I get drunk, regular drunk casts.
Brett, wherever the wind takes us. So segment 4 is going to be our
it's
top...
going to take me to the floor.
Yes, it is. Our segment 4 is going to be... Hey, the swearing.
No, this is 1 year... We're going back to what we did last year.
Not going to be that vulgar.
I'll put explicit into the title.
Segment 4 is going to be top 5 liquor and beer facts, where we're talking about tequila. Segment 5, we're going to have crazy Florida man news, and then we're going to end this extravaganza with our random topics generator if we get there. It's segment 6.
Sounds good to me. Let's start this.
So, Brett, before we also kick it into high gear, why don't you go ahead and explain
The
our
wheel.
Drunkcast wheel?
Can you scroll down for me, please? So right now, can I say the names? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, the first one we have on the wheel is Permafrost. It's more of like a minty schnapps.
Actually, that is the most nuclear out of them all in
Yeah,
terms of
it's
alcohol.
it's actually the.
It's 100 proof.
Yeah, it is. If we get that one, then we're kind of screwed. Is it? Oh, it is 100 proof. Holy crap! It's not as bad as like Bacardi, 151. Jack Daniel's Corazon, which is this type of tequila. We have Uller, which is a peppermint schnapps. We have Jack Daniel's again, Corazon again, Uller again. And then right now, the last 3 is take 2 shots of your choice. Next one is take a shot of your choice, and then take a shot of another person's choice. So Nick can choose my shot. I can choose Nick's shot on that one.
All right. Well, this is going to be a fun wheel. My God.
Yeah, let's spin it and see what we get here. I'm already feeling drunk off of just sipping on my Jack and Daniels.
Well, you only poured about a third of it full of liquor.
Yeah, I'm already like feeling kind of tipsy.
Oh,
Dude, we haven't even started.
What do you mean? We're like 5 minutes in. We're 8 minutes in.
Nick, we haven't even spun the wheel.
No, we
Shut your
haven't.
mouth.
We've been exploring what this episode is going to do for people.
Take some sips. Catch up to me a little bit here. All right, here we go. Wheel time. Ready?
Yes.
Let's see what we get.
Oh, God.
Corazon. Corazon esta tequila.
I'm so happy.
Tequila.
I brought plenty of paper towels, Brett, because I know.
Oh my God! I poured it like 3/4 full. The double shot glass. Here, I'm gonna pour that some of that back.
Why don't you pour some of it into mine?
Yeah, I'm not gonna take 2 shots. I need to like ready my body. That's good enough. Oh my God! I hate tequila.
I know.
I hate it.
You spun the wheel, man.
Well, you chose the drink, man.
That's weird. I never say man. Why am I saying that? Oh,
Dude, this is gonna be bad. I'm gonna throw up in your toilet tonight. I'm gonna be honest. This is the first night I've ever thrown up drinking.
The problem that Brett and I face is because we've been doing this a year, and Brett's 26 and I'm 24. Is yes, even though we're young in our younger years, we have had so many different experiences on alcohol. All of them poor.
The hangovers, the murder.
Nah, it's just the vomit, really.
You didn't get that reference. The hangovers, the murder. You didn't get that? I'm ashamed. I thought you were a Harry Potter fan.
I am a Harry Potter fan. I don't know what you're talking about.
The fleas. The murder. Sirius Black.
Oh, wow.
God damn it!
That one went right over my noggin.
Shots to the Shotcast.
Here we go, opening it up with some Corazon
Nick's got his vomit bag.
tequila.
Oh, God.
Here we go, just fucking do it.
Oh, God. Ew. Tastes like I have gasoline in my mouth. I hate that stuff. That stuff's disgusting.
I don't think the KFC is going to agree with what we're doing.
Dude, we should not have had KFC. We should have had a lot of bread.
Whew, all right.
Soak up all that liquor.
It's been done. So, Brett, are you ready for
Our first news story.
our first news story of the week? So, on to top news stories. First news story, historic Southern California wildfires. How come I feel like, I was going through some of our old news stories over the past year.
Was it the third time we've talked about this?
Yeah, actually it is. California's being burned to the ground right now. Actually. And I feel like it's been burning to the ground a lot this year.
Is it the northern end or is it like...
No, southern end now.
Is it, what? It's stretched that far from north to south?
No, the fires are just in the southern part of the state. They were in the northern part of the state earlier in the year.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
It's stretched from north to south.
Yes. So the whole state's burning alive.
Okay.
Anyhow,
Make sure the mic's pointing.
in case you haven't heard, a historic wildfire is blazing in Southern California, and it's claimed the lives of more than 42 people, which is a lot of... You know what is one thing I've always wondered?
Smokey the Bear would not approve.
Not that, but how does a wildfire kill people? You know it's coming. How do you die?
Have you not seen videos of people trapped in a wildfire?
No. How do you
You've
get
never
trapped?
seen videos of that.
How do you get trapped if you know it's coming? Wouldn't you be
Do you see how fast the fire spread? You've
No.
never watched videos of that.
No.
Dude, the fires can spread as fast as a tornado going across the road. That's how
What?
Yes. You've never seen that. The wind's taking the fires. Yeah, they can go like 30, 40 miles an hour. Like,
No way.
yes, you've never seen that.
So that's
Look
how...
up-
I ain't looking up a video. I
Okay.
believe you.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I thought it, if you see it in the distance coming, you're like,
Oh,
all right.
no, it can go like a car driving by.
Wow.
If it's
okay.
dry enough.
That would make sense then. Well, the inferno has been ravaging the wooded town of Paradise, and on Monday of this week, officials discovered the remains of 13 more people, making this the deadliest wildfire in California state history. Is the one they're currently going through right now.
Yeah, it's not like the fires you see in a campfire.
Yes, and the
Just burned.
sheriff said that 200 people still remain missing in and around the town, which all reside at the foothills of the Sierra Nevada range. And apparently, this Paradise town that the fire is burning to the ground, has burned to the ground, was a popular retirement community. Mm-hmm. So a lot of retired people live there, old folk. And so far, and I found this number to be pretty extravagant, destroyed more than 7,100 structures, most of them being homes. I'm trying to envision a fire like you just described it, moving at 30, 40 miles an hour.
Well, look, seriously, we have so much time in the world. Look up a video. Why not just go and do it and see? Well, we'll get your reaction on the mic. Fire truck backs up from fire. Fire truck backs up from fire. That should pull up the video I'm thinking of. The third one down. I think that's the one. Ad. We got an ad, people.
I don't understand how quickly this is supposed to...
Just watch it.
So this is a wildfire.
Yes, this is smoke from a fire. I don't know if this is the video I'm thinking of. You want to fast forward a bit? Go right here, yeah. So they're backing up and they're calling in.
Look at how fast that's coming.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. The wind just takes it.
So that's why wind is bad, because it just...
Well, the fire the fire takes in oxygen. That's how it breathes.
So that's how it's burning everything, because the wind is just...
So do you know what the firefighters do there?
Huh?
So what the firefighters have to do if a fire is going to engulf them, they have to put up their, so you know those silver blankets? They put that around their windows, and they have to sit still, and they put their hoses on so it drenches the fire truck in water. And they have to sit there and just pray that their fire truck doesn't blow up from the fire engulfing them. Because they got trapped there in like a inferno of fire. But the other driver...
How did you learn about this?
The other driver, he panicked and didn't want to do that. And he backed up into the other fire truck. If he would have just stayed put and put the fire blankets on the windows and then put the hose on, they would have been fine. I learned that from an educational video on that specific video we just watched.
You know the most random things. I swear.
You guys want to know about bees?
No one wants to know about bees. Anyhow, so yeah, this has been a very, very bad fire that they're dealing with, and tens of thousands of people have been evacuated from west of LA. And the current fire complex that's doing all this damage is called the Camp Fire, and it's been raging for days. So the fire itself has burned more than 117,000 acres. That's a lot. And as of Monday, it was only 30% contained. I think they've got it about 40 now from what I saw in the news this week, because I pulled this info from earlier in the week. Two other fires, the Woolsey Fire, located west of LA, and the Hill Fire in Ventura County, have burned more than 94,000 acres combined. So, like I said, California's on fire. Mm-hmm. And the Woolsey Fire chased residents from one of the wealthiest zip codes of California, near Malibu, while the Camp Fire hit a low-income retirement community, like I said, in Paradise. So I think a majority of the casualties came from Paradise, where it was more low-income people, actually. And a quarter of the residents in Paradise were over the age of 65, and many lived in mobile homes. Why do all natural disasters want to target mobile homes? I feel like tornadoes do the same thing. They all hit frickin' mobile home parks.
That happened to my mom. Did you know that? My mom and dad lived in a mobile park.
Tornado
Ripped it apart.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They had to leave.
Because tornadoes systematically target mobile homes.
Yep, my mom has seen one tornado and it destroyed her house.
Did I ever tell you when...
That was back when she was in her 20s.
Did I ever tell you when... this was a couple of years ago. I was working at Gretchen's office. It may have been the summer that you were there, too. But there was a really bad... thunderstorms that were coming through Madison, and she and I were driving back, and we just had gotten into...
were you driving in, like, rain?
Yeah, but we were driving... So we were leaving her office and getting on the Beltline to go up towards County Road P and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the emergency thing comes over the radio, because there was tornado warnings all around Madison. Mm-hmm. And the robotic voice says, "If you are in a mobile home, you will be destroyed." And Gretchen... the look on Gretchen's face, I looked over, and she was like... Why would you say that?
Why would you say that?
But no, they systematically...
What are you supposed to do? They have to have like a shelter in mobile home parks, right?
No, they don't.
Did you know? So you know where my mom lives, right?
Yes.
There's no basement there.
What does she do?
There's a shed out back. You go underground.
Oh, she has a shed underground?
Yeah, but when you go underground, there's no cement. It's just dirt walls.
What is Deb doing? Did she dig that herself?
No, it was there when we got there. So she made me go down there one day. Well, she went down there first to make sure it was safe. We found 5 dead raccoons down there, and they were just skeletons. Because the raccoons would be curious, and they went down the hole, but then they couldn't get back up. So they just died down there.
That's a great story, Brett. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. Hi, PETA.
Anyhow, who's PETA?
PETA. You know, did they take care of pets? They care for animals?
Yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ. You think I'm talking about Hunger Games? PETA.
Anyhow, back to this very sad story. So out of that retirement community, 14% of the population was below the poverty line. So it was a very poor area that the fire hit in Paradise. And on Monday...
Yeah, poor in that area.
Yeah.
I bet you they're like making like $80,000.
They're retired people.
Yeah, I bet you they're still rich, though. It's southern part of California.
But anyhow, on Monday evening, President Trump tweeted that he had approved a request to declare the fires in California a major disaster, making people affected eligible for various types of federal aid.
Hey, you know what? Take aside what you think about Trump. He's doing something nice here. We don't have to mock his voice or anything like that. He's doing something nice. Okay?
Oh, I'll mock him if I want to.
No, you won't. He's being nice.
He's doing what he should be doing.
Exactly. So let's not mock him.
Get off my podcast.
Yours? Whose idea was this?
Oh, okay. All right. We're going to play that.
Oh, yeah,
we're going to play that 50.
You want to fight?
We're going to play 50.
That's all, folks. Continue.
Anyhow, the reason behind the power of these fires apparently has to do with unseasonably strong winds, low humidity, and no rainfall, as most wildfires in California seem to be caused by.
These wildfires happen every year. What makes them worse this year? Just because they're worse?
I guess. I think it probably depends on where they hit, and again, these weather conditions and all this different stuff.
Is the countrywide news just so bland these days that we have to talk about
Oh,
this?
Brett, it is by far from bland. You know that to be true.
Yeah, you're right.
So, anyhow, very, very, very sad what's going on in California. Our thoughts from the Shotcast go out to all those affected, and hopefully the wonderful firemen and military personnel out there battling the blaze can get it contained.
Yep, all those prison workers.
We're not going there.
Oh, okay. We already went there on one of the episodes. Go listen to that one.
Yes, apparently prison workers go and fight fires.
For free.
For free.
Yep. Well, we pay for it, but...
Great use of tax money. All right. Well, I guess we're going into the next news story, so you know what time it is, Britt?
Another shot. Yay!
What if it's Corazon again?
Hopefully not. Ring that bell, bitch.
You're drunk already.
Yep. Yay! I'm already drinking it. Jack Daniels, Nick's favorite.
No.
Nick's favorite. Yeah, girl.
What if I don't want to do the Jack Daniels and sub it out for something else?
No, did I do that with your tequila? No. You're doing it just as I did it. Son of a bitch. Fucking pussing out on me.
Don't say that.
I almost poured it in my drink.
Brett, I really don't want to do Jack
Nick! How many things have you made me do tonight that I don't want to do and I'm doing right now? God.
Point taken.
All right.
All right. Can I at least... All right,
ready?
Brett, here we go.
Okay.
Shot of Jack
Shots to
and Daniels.
Shotcast.
Oh, yeah.
God, that's the only liquor I can take like a champ.
I just needed the bite of the
God,
soda.
It's like taking a shot out of blended up bark from a tree. That's what it tastes like.
I wouldn't call it that.
Oh, like taking a turd from the toilet and blending it? Nick's having a hard time right now. Next news story.
My body is rejecting what we're doing in all forms.
Just do it!
I know. 1 year drunk. 1 year. 1 year drunk.
1 year. We only have to do this once a year.
Right. All right. Well, moving on to our next news story, which Wisconsin was made the world stage this week.
This pissed me off.
I think it pissed everybody off. Wisconsin normally doesn't make national news, let alone world news, but we did this week. You know why? Well, I'm sure you all heard about it.
We really aren't in the news if you think about it.
No. We had some lovely high school students in Baraboo decide to take a prom photo and Heil Hitler.
Yep.
That's what happened. So this week, an image surfaced showcasing a group of high school students in Baraboo, which is, if you know where Wisconsin Dells is, it's just south of that.
Yeah.
Where would you put that location-wise?
Baraboo is 15 minutes north of Madison.
Baraboo is not 15 minutes north
I
of
said
Madison.
50, Nick. 50.
It's like 40. It's less than that.
No, it's not. It's 50.
I guess
You're gonna tell me that.
No.
You're gonna tell me that.
I'm gonna shut up. Okay. Okay. Jay?
You know what? I agree with you. From where you live, it is. From where I live, it's 50.
Okay.
And I'm on the south side of Madison, so that makes sense. Nick's more
Anyhow,
north side.
this damn photo of these stupid kids was taken last spring, and they, for some reason, decided to give the Nazi salute.
Well,
it was revealed this week.
The guy taking the picture told him to do it. But
No, he didn't, and I'll get to
What?
that. He didn't.
That's what they said in the news story.
You haven't clearly caught up on this then. That's why
No, I
I'm
saw the
here.
picture and I read the freaking article and that's
Well,
all I heard.
Nope, you're going to listen to the source I have because he
All right,
didn't
okay,
actually.
okay.
Anyhow, So the photo displays about 60 male students dressed in their suits for prom and with their right arms extended upward, as one would see in 1930s Germany during the reign of Adolf Hitler. And on Monday, it was posted to social media, received immediate backlash, if you can imagine that.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it
It
was.
wasn't immediate. It was their prom photo in the spring.
They didn't post it to social media in the spring. It hit social media this week, which is
They
why it
posted
blew
it?
up.
Why would they post that now?
Somebody did. It wasn't. Somebody did.
What an idiot.
I don't know if it was
did
one
that?
of the kids or if it was another account. Nobody.
What a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
What a poopy idiot.
Good, Brett. But no. Yeah, someone posted it to social media this week, which is why there was all this backlash. The photographer who took the photo, here we go, reportedly told students to raise your hands and say goodbye to the camera.
Oh, that's what their excuse is, right?
No, that's what he said he told them to do. Raise your hands and say goodbye.
I'll be honest with you. I looked at that picture. It looks like some of them are waving. Looks like some of them are like this.
Right.
And, in a still picture, when you wave like this, it looks like you're hailing Hitler, kind of.
Yeah.
So,
But
maybe people are kind of overreacting.
Well, anyhow, photographer Peter Gust, who took the photo, had the idea based on wedding photos he had taken of groomsmen waving goodbye. So, he was probably, doing something like this. But
yeah, but you know what? Some of them did have straight hands like that.
they did. 'Cause kids are stupid. But, even if you're doing that, it looks like...
I don't think these kids should be, reprimanded for what they're being reprimanded for.
Well, I think they should because they clearly did it.
Honestly, we don't know the true story. We weren't at the picture. So some of them might be waving, some of them might be just being little shitheads.
But there was that kid who was standing off to the side.
Not partaking.
Correct. So, you're
So
wrong.
you're thinking that this guy is just blowing shit out of his ass.
No, I think he probably actually told them to raise your hands and say goodbye to the camera, and they decided to do that.
No. I think that part is he's lying to cover his ass.
Why would a photographer tell kids to do the Heil Hitler salute?
Isn't he like a really Republican
No.
neo-Nazi guy?
Who said that?
I'm reading the wrong articles apparently.
Yeah, you are. Anyhow,
I'll just have Nick talk.
the photographer removed
I don't know shit.
The photographer removed all the prom photos from his website, replacing them with a message condemning jerks and encouraging kindness and civility. Yeah. He's a real hardcore neo-Nazi right there.
Shut up.
He noted the internet's effect of stripping away politeness and causing people to say things they wouldn't usually say to another person face to face.
I didn't mean to say shut up to you. I love you as a friend.
Oh boy, Brett's getting drunk, y'all.
I didn't mean to say shut up.
Brett,
I said shut up. I noticed it.
Brett is fully
Can't do it.
Brett is fully recognizing that.
I say shut up too much to Nick. It's mean.
Who's your little buddy?
Shut up. No buddy crap. I told you that. This is our business.
We were having a moment.
No. Our audience doesn't need to hear our moments. Not that we have any.
Oh, we have some.
Shut up. That sounds bad.
We're gonna say it, Brett. Gay?
Yeah.
Does it
I
sound
didn't want to
gay?
say. I didn't want to say gay. By the way, that's not offensive. Nick's gay. So he's not being offensive right now.
I know.
You gotta. Do you realize that some people don't know you may be gay and they might get pissed off?
Well, they
with that.
sure as hell know now.
Yeah, they do.
Anyhow, the Baraboo School District has threatened legal action against the boys in the photo, and the local police have launched their own investigation. Well, as they should.
What investigation?
As to why it happened.
Okay, fine.
Brett, they have to do something.
Yeah, they just say that just to make everybody less mad,
Right.
and then they go, "Okay, we have worse things."
Can
to
you
worry
imagine?
about."
The school district PR person probably hasn't had to do crap for their job the past 20 years, and now this comes rolling down the hill. What do you
Jesus
think they're gonna
Christ.
say? Can you imagine that? You're getting calls
Like,
from
shit.
you're getting calls from news outlets
I
from
want
around
a
the
raise.
You're getting calls from news outlets from around the world all of a sudden. Yeah, Anyhow, after the photo was circulated, the Baraboo School District also released a statement stating that they were extremely troubled by the image. What else were they going to say? No, we loved this image. It really... we're going to frame it and
we
put it in
love
the
Hitler.
gym.
We love Hitler. Oh, he's great. And our school loves him. He's our mascot.
No, they didn't say that. No. They said they were extremely troubled by the image. And one student, Jordan Blue, your typical Baraboo high schooler name, refused to participate in the salute and can be seen in the photo standing off to the side with his arms by his side. And he was interviewed on national news.
Yep, I saw that. And remember that picture that was with him, that the Nazi that was not raising his hand to Hitler?
Yes.
They correlated that with the picture in Baraboo.
Of course they did. Correlate anything. And the photographer, or Jordan Blue said the photographer, quote unquote, said to raise your hand, but he didn't say a specific way. And my peers should not have raised it in the specific way that was offensive and hurtful way. So these kids decided to do that.
I bet you he had a good ghostwriter for his apology.
Who?
Say this to the press. The kid.
Oh, the kid who didn't do it? Mm-hmm. Well,
he didn't make that up himself.
Clearly he didn't take part in it, and I think that's the big controversy here.
I bet you all these kids had a lawyer talk to them prior to talking to the press.
Well, I'm sure. Well, actually, probably not all of them. There's 60 people.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Well, various groups such as the ACLU and the Auschwitz Memorial have criticized the photo for its hate speech.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything to that.
What do you mean? As they should have.
They should have. That's what I'm saying.
That's what the American Civil Liberties. That's what the American Civil Liberties Union is for. And I would have thought it weird if the Auschwitz Memorial would not have commented on this.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to say anything. That's rightfully so. Continue.
Clearly, the Baraboo School District is not doing a good job at teaching World War II history. Because you know me.
Dude, shut up. I hate when people say that.
Why?
Do you know how many kids were taught World War II history and they're just being little shitheads and they do it anyways?
No.
Just to be little shitheads?
No.
Yeah. I've seen kids hail Hitler as a joke before. They just want to be little assholes.
Right, that shouldn't be a thing, though.
It shouldn't be a thing.
No, it shouldn't.
But they're just being little assholes because they don't take things seriously.
Well, I'm just
and they're
saying,
15 years old.
I'm just saying, you know me, I'm a World War II history buff. I don't think the school district probably, well...
At the age of 24 and 26, we know the reprehensive repercussions of our actions.
Well, maybe these kids need to get a one-way paid ticket over to the National Holocaust Museum in D.C. Then they won't do it anymore, I'll tell you that much.
No, I still think they would do it. They don't give a shit.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, kids that age don't give a fucking fuck.
No, that museum there puts you through an experience.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I haven't been there, so I'm not going to say
They have piles of shoes.
Oh, just like Little Nightmares.
Sure, Brett, if that's what you want to equate it to, yeah.
Well, that's what we were equating that video game too, was the Holocaust.
Right.
Of all the shoes, the pile of shoes.
Yes.
And I actually, in 8th grade, we watched a Holocaust movie, and it portrayed what it was like to be a Jew in the Holocaust, in the concentration camps.
Terrible.
And there was a pile of shoes 3 times as tall as a person.
Yes.
Probably 6, 12, 18
Because what they would do is they would put these people on cattle car trains, take them to these extermination centers, line them up in front of a hole, and shoot them in the head. That's what they would do.
You want to know how bad this movie was that we watched? There was girls crying
in the
classroom when we were watching the movie.
Well, they should be crying. It's horrible what happened.
Well, a girl was crying in line. They're in line to go to the gas chambers. And the girl was crying, and one of the Nazi soldiers didn't like it, so he sicked a dog on her, and the dog ripped her apart.
They showed you this movie?
Yeah.
What grade was this in?
8th grade.
What?
Yeah.
I was never shown this.
Yeah, well, they didn't show the girl being ripped apart, but they showed the dog running at her and her going, ah! And she was running towards the fence and getting splinters in her fingers.
I'm assuming this was a dramatization.
It
wasn't real footage.
No, it wasn't
Okay.
real footage, but I'm sure it happened. I'm sure they sick dogs on little children and adults and stuff who weren't cooperating.
No, Brett, it's horrible, and these kids need to be taken to the National Holocaust Museum so they can actually see what happened to these people and why any type of Nazi symbolism is evil and cruel.
Nazis are evil. We've all known that. And why are they making a comeback this year?
Why? Because they're all for white supremacy and one race, and our lovely commander-in-chief doesn't say anything about it.
I'm going to rephrase my sentence there. I don't think they're making a comeback. They're just making a little poof in the...
You mean noise is what they're making?
A little bit of noise.
Yeah, because it's acceptable for them to now.
Because they have a little bit of confidence boost because of Trump.
Correct. That's why, and it shouldn't be that way.
No.
Absolutely not. It shouldn't be that way. But these little assholes who did this need to be taken to some museum and sat there and need to watch what happened. So, because you actually want to know something. So, when I went to Greece for my study abroad back in college, we had to take a flight over to Germany first, and I found out that it's actually illegal, and you can be put in jail for displaying any type of Nazi symbolism, even uttering anything about it.
In Germany.
Yes, they will take you to jail.
Yep, there's signs up that say
Yes.
this isn't allowed.
Correct.
That's how ashamed they are of their country.
Well, that's how ashamed they are of their history.
Well, yeah, I shouldn't say
Which,
country. You're right.
Look
history,
at that.
History.
Look at the difference between Germany and us. We practically did the same thing to African slaves, but we don't do that here. We don't put any signs up that say
We should.
we should, because it was literally
was
along the
the
same exact
same
lines.
thing.
In fact, worse in some cases.
It was the same thing.
Just saying.
You really don't think about that.
No. So
The difference, in my opinion, was Germany enslaved those people to kill them. We enslaved people just to do labor for us for free.
and then killed them.
We didn't kill them on purpose.
Okay. Yeah,
enslaved-
we did. Some of them were killed and brutalized and tortured.
No. You got me wrong. You got me wrong, Nick. I'm talking about their main motive was to kill them. Our main motive was not to kill them. It was to enslave them and have free labor. That's what the U.S. did.
Okay, yes. Well, even so, the Nazis did put a lot of these people in concentration camps, worked them to the bone, and then killed them.
Yes.
Or just killed them.
Yes.
You need to read a book. It's by Elie Wiesel. I forgot what it's called. Or no.
The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
No, not Elie Wiesel. Viktor Frankl. Very good book. It was about his experience in the Holocaust. He was a Holocaust survivor. I forgot what it's called, but I had it on iBooks. It was really, really good. Very good.
Okay.
But it paints a really good picture of the Holocaust. And my God, talk about if you went through something like that, how you still have any faith in humanity left. I don't know. That's what these little assholes need to learn.
Okay. Did you finish the story?
Sure. I guess we could talk about this for a while, couldn't we?
Yeah. How far are we?
We have another story.
I know. I'm just saying how far. Like, what time?
Oh, we're at 37 minutes. That's not horrible. All right, Brett. Well, time for another shot.
All right. Do that wheel, bro. Dude, that was a nail biter.
Corazon.
It was like right on the line between Corazon and Jack Daniels. So we're both like
Corazon. We're doing Corazon.
Mi amor es corazón. Mi amor es no corazón. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, all I
My
know
love
is
is not Corazon. Your love is Corazon.
how drunk are you?
Tu amor es corazón. Your love is Corazon. I'm drunk. Dos cervezas, por favor.
That's racist.
That's not racist. Why is that racist? I just said 2 beers, please.
You're mocking another person's culture.
Did you know that's the first thing I was taught by my dad? He's like, un cervezas, por favor. I'm like, what does that mean, Dad? He's like, 1 beer, please. That's all you need to know in Mexico. Thanks, Dad.
I don't really want to do more Corazon.
Corazon? Corazon is no.
All right, after this break, you gotta make yourself another glass there, and I'll keep drinking that and pouring.
Shut up. Damn it, I did it again. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to start making up for
Shots
all
to
these.
the Shotcast.
You gotta start making up for all these shots up here.
I say that a lot when I'm drunk.
So
Jesus Christ.
Keep
It's like
in
a
mind,
habit.
Brett, as we do these shots so quickly, they still haven't hit our systems fully yet. So we're gonna get blasted here in probably the next half an hour.
Just fucking do this. I mean, poop. Shots to the Shotcast.
Corazon?
Corazon. Whew. Man, I had to empty my bladder there.
We're just taking a pause. You can edit this out.
I don't think I can. Just kidding, I will. It's very easy to edit these things. I've gotten really good at it. You know how I do it?
You sit there naked and just...
No. I zoom in on the audio, and wherever the peaks are, like, there's no peaks in the audio. That's right. I know to edit it out. Next! And that's where we'll start. What's our next story? What's the time at? Jesus, that's disgusting. All right, 40:47. That's where I have to edit. Next! All right, what's our next news story, Nick?
We're going back to my love.
Oh, fuck off.
Brett.
Ugh.
Language.
I'd rather drink 5 Corazons than listen to this story.
Language.
You can fuck your off your language. Veggie bish.
Yo, you're not even close to being there yet. Anyhow.
No, I'm actually joking around.
Amazon selects location for second headquarters. Remember, we actually talked about this back
What?
in February.
Is this your favorite news story from the year?
No, we're still on our top news stories.
Oh,
of the week.
wait. You're saying they finally decided their second headquarters.
Yes,
Oh.
which really is 2 locations.
Oh, really?
They hoodwinked everybody.
No shit, right?
Yes. On Tuesday, Amazon announced the long-awaited city that would be granted with the company's coveted HQ2. However,
Headquarters too, that's what that means.
yes.
Everybody.
However, instead of choosing one city, Amazon revealed that they will be constructing 2 new headquarters.
Not 1, but 2.
One in New York City and one in Arlington, Virginia. So they hoodwinked everybody. They made a big hubbub and hoodwinked everybody. I've been arguing with people. They probably knew what they were going to do a year ago. They just did this for publicity.
Do you think some of them paid to have their videos given to them?
Videos.
You know all the CEOs from these different like headquarters or potential headquarter locations. They
CEOs, it was the cities, Brett.
Oh, the governor sent those in?
Oh my god.
Shut the fuck up, Nick. I don't pay attention to this crap. So the governors of the cities sent these videos into Amazon.
There's no governor in a city. Okay, I'm going to
Mayor.
I'm going to
the
speak
mayors
for
of
you.
these cities.
Yes.
The mayors of these cities sent the videos in. I'm just God damn it! I'm just asking, did the mayors pay Amazon to put these videos and have these videos shown to them? Yeah? Okay. Continue. That's all I wanted.
The new headquarters are estimated to create more than 50,000 jobs. What are you doing?
I'm like a villain.
Stop it.
I'm like stroking my mustache.
All right. Anyhow, they did choose 2 different cities to put their headquarters in, and I firmly believe that they already had this picked out. They just created a hubbub to get themselves more publicity, which is what Amazon and Jeff Bezos does. But the new headquarters are estimated to create more than 50,000 jobs, and Amazon also announced it has selected Nashville, Tennessee for its new operations center of excellence with more than 5,000 jobs. What?
Did you just say jobs subconsciously as jabs?
Yes.
You did. Oh my God.
And Jeff Bezos said, "We are excited to build new headquarters in New York City and Northern Virginia. These 2 locations will allow us to attract world-class talent that will help us to continue inventing for customers for years to come." Well,
Are people still pissed off at Steve Jobs? Or not? Jeff Bezos
for what?
for being rich and not giving his money away to poor people.
Which he's done, actually. He's given away a lot to charity this year and started a couple
So
initiatives.
why do people bitch at him?
Because that's what people do. Anyhow, I think they chose these 2 cities because, one, New York is just, of course, huge, and they can collect a lot of talent from New York. And they selected Arlington because it's right by D.C., and the government's going to be up their ass really soon here because of how big they're becoming and stuff. So it makes sense that they'd be by Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Why did
for lobbying purposes.
why did where was their first headquarters at?
Seattle.
Are they still there?
Yeah.
So they have 3 headquarters.
Their primary headquarters is in Seattle.
And then what's their secondary?
They
Virginia?
don't have a secondary. They just
It's
selected.
just okay. So New York and Arlington are the same. There's no first place, second place, third place.
No, they're putting 2 new buildings, one in New York, one in Arlington.
Okay.
So, Beza said the team did a great job selecting these sites, and we look forward to becoming an even bigger part of these communities.
Yay!
So
I kind of thought it would be New York.
So we can continue our world domination and destroy all of the retail, so we can become the only retail that you come to know and love.
You know, I thought it would be New York because it would tie in the West Coast, East Coast, but then I thought if they did do a third one, it'd be Colorado.
Well, they're investing $5 billion to do this, and they're going to be receiving a lot of different tax breaks from these different cities, of course, because why wouldn't they? But ultimately, they are going to create a lot of jobs. Now, there's been a lot of controversy whether as Amazon getting more tax breaks and incentives than actually bringing, income and talent to these areas. Well, I guess that remains to be seen. But as we see with the company's history, anything that they touch turns to gold. So
Yeah, the digital Walmart of this decade.
no, they're better than Walmart. Walmart's afraid of them. Yes.
They're the digital Walmart. That's an upgrade.
But
I'm not even gonna
with better customer service.
I'm not even gonna tie them into Walmart. Walmart's irrelevant now. It's just Amazon. Amazon's the company of the century. Know what I'm saying?
Sure, Brett.
You need to drink more.
I have been, Brett.
No, you need to drink
No,
more.
you, Brett. I
I've
have
had
a higher
2 glasses of this.
I have a higher tolerance than you.
You're drinking beer. I'm drinking half glasses of liquor.
I'm on your level.
No, you're not. Do you understand what I'm doing? I filled up my glass a third of Jack Daniels. I've drank 2 of these almost, and you're drinking beer. I'm ashamed of you sometimes. I'm just kidding. I love you.
No, everybody, I truly think Brett wants to kill me more often than not.
No one will ever know. It's in my head. Next.
Okay. Well, that's that for Amazon. Like I said, I'm excited to see how the company evolves and changes, but they're gonna get into some legal trouble here soon. They really are becoming a monopoly.
Mm-hmm. What was Parker explained pretty well one time? Oligopoly or something?
Yes. No. He
Wasn't
was talking about government.
Oh yeah. The Trump era is an oligopoly.
Oh, Brett.
Oligopoly. Oh my God! You
Yes,
put the next segment. Oh,
that's our bonus story, but we must do another shot.
Yep. Wheel.
Please not Corazon. Please not.
I say
Corazon.
permafrost. Yay, Jack Daniels.
You're spilling all over my table.
You're welcome. Corazon!
Brett.
If anybody's listening, get your shot glasses out and play along.
What level are you on?
8.
You're higher
9.
than 8.
12. Oh shit, dude.
Brent's getting silly.
Yeah.
Why does it keep landing on the same stuff?
I don't know. The wheel just knows you.
No, it doesn't. Give me that.
The thing that I'm most scared of is permafrost and Uller because I don't like the peppermint with all the liquor. Oh, by the way, not talking bad about the brand. The brand is magnificent. Uller, very good brand, very good liquor. You will not get a hangover from Uller if you drink a lot of it. It's very pure.
Is that true?
Yeah. I remember the first time I drank this and got drunk off of it. No hangover. It was very great. Permafrost, a little bit of a hangover, but it's still very tasty, very good. The reason we don't like it is because we've gotten shit-faced off of it and got a bad hangover because we did too much of it. So that's why we're dreading it. But other than that, as a brand and buying it, and if you haven't tried it before, very good. Try it out. Uller Nordic
Libation, bro.
Libation. It looks like a bee because my vision's blurry. And then Permafrost Schnapps, imported from Canada. Yukon Jack. So that's like a Jack Daniels version. Yukon Jack. But, oh, no, yeah, from Canada. This, is Uller from Canada? No, Uller's from Russia, right?
I don't really know.
Well, Uller just sounds like a Russian name, right? Like, let's take a look here. He is god of snow, the one called Uller.
Okay, yeah, we're done.
Stepson of Thor. He is so fierce, a bowman and ski runner that no. The Gafagini. Government warning. According to the Surgeon
Put
General,
the bottle down and let's do this.
if you drink this liqueur, you will die. No, come snow, come snow. I'm looking to see if it's Russian.
It's not Russian.
Are you sure?
It's like Scandinavian or some shit.
Oh.
Put the Coke over here.
Just let me have my fun. Jesus. Oh, I gotta take my shot. Shots to the Shotcast. You're drinking beer with that? You filled that up so high, dude.
The beer instantly removes.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Crazy bastard. Grab another beer. Oh, I thought that was your beer right there. Your hand's shaking, dude. Are you that stressed? Jesus Christ. That's depressing. You okay? Yeah, he's fine. All right, start us off. See, that's the thing. I get drunk faster than you, but I never throw up. You don't get as drunk as me ever, but you throw up more than me. I'd rather have what I have.
Hated Marvel stuff up until about a year ago.
No. Captain America: Civil War came out in 2016. I started liking it after that movie.
Yeah, but you didn't really get into it until this year.
I'm trying to think.
I'm right.
Watched. Okay, all right. Do you want to know my story about Marvel?
Can we?
Of course they do. I hated Marvel because honestly, before Nick told me about Marvel movies, I didn't know the stories were connected, but I love a set of movies that connect with each other. I didn't know that. And then Nick, all of a sudden, he invited me one day to go up to Stevens Point to go and see Captain America: Civil War. And I was like, fine, I'll go watch another superhero movie. Bleh. And I saw it, and it was pretty damn good. I liked it a lot. And then I'm like, I started researching it up on Google, Captain America: Civil War, and then I realized that it starts off with Captain America chronologically, and then you go up to Iron Man, then you go to Hulk, then you go to Iron Man 2, then you go to Thor, then it goes to Avengers. I'm like, oh, these all connect? And I'm like, I gotta check this out. So I started watching them all in order. Eventually ended up buying them all. Eventually ended up in a week's time watching them all in chronological order and getting addicted and loving Stan Lee in the past year and a half. And I have to say, I already started watching it a second time. I'm going to watch it a second time through already. And I'm addicted. I can't wait to see Captain Marvel. And I can't wait to see Infinity War 2. It's been a ride, and I love Stan Lee, and I love that what he's done for people's imaginations to get us out of the norm and just get us to our fantasy worlds. Thank you, Stan Lee.
That was beautiful.
All right, what do you have to say?
I don't know how I can top that, I suppose.
Oh, just tell a story.
I don't have a story.
Well, what the hell is all the bullet points for then?
I was going to go over his life and
Okay,
his
well,
death.
let's do that, yeah.
So on Monday this week, Stan Lee, the visionary behind Marvel Comics, passed away at the age of 95. So he lived a full life.
Oh, of course he did.
Say the least.
95, that's a full life.
He was responsible for co-creating some of the most well-known superhero characters, such as the X-Men, Hulk, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Daredevil, and Doctor Strange, just to name a few. And his comic book career actually began back in 1939 when he was 17 years old and took a job as an assistant at Timely Comics, which was the predecessor to Marvel.
Yep.
You knew that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm disagreeing with you.
All right. But he was actually born Stanley Martin Lieber, and he adopted Stan Lee as a pen name when he started writing comic book stories and later made it his legal name.
Didn't know that either.
Yes. And during the 1960s and beyond, Stan Lee often spoke about the importance of inclusion and the evils of racism. So he was very progressive.
Oh, he's very progressive.
Yes.
Did you see that the SJWs are trying to mark him as a racist?
How?
You didn't hear about this story?
No.
Oh my god, I dove so deep into this after he died. The SJWs were trying to make him as a racist because he wanted his characters to stay as the color as he portrayed them.
What's wrong with that?
A lot of the characters, the SJWs wanted a white character that he portrayed to be black instead, because there's not many black actors in Hollywood. So I'm not sure.
That's not his fault. That's Disney.
It's Disney, and it's people bitching about it. He wanted his.
I don't even care.
No, I'm just saying he wanted his white characters to stay white. He wanted his black characters to stay black. And, some of the SJWs wanted the white characters to be black, and he said, "No, I want my characters to stay the color I portrayed
I don't see
them
what
as."
the problem is with that.
Well, the problem was with the SJWs was he made these characters back in the day when blacks weren't.
Yeah, but he's always been against racism.
Exactly, they didn't do their research, and that's why people don't like.
Well, whatever.
them,
In 1971, he challenged the Comics Code Authority, which was a draconian set of industry-imposed rules to avoid government regulation. And actually, there was a congressional witch hunt on the comic book medium back in the day, which I thought was pretty fascinating because there was an anti-drug storyline in an issue of The Amazing Spider-Man. So he actually has always been kind of progressive and fighting the government in a weird way.
Yep, I've watched some of his videos.
He's very progressive.
Yep, he's made some videos.
But a year later, he stepped back from writing comics to become the publisher of Marvel and quickly became its most recognizable public face from then until now. And as the world of Marvel superheroes expanded into the vast and lucrative Marvel Cinematic Universe, Lee became known for his cameo appearances in the films, perhaps the most popular in-joke movies already peppered with references for comic book fans.
And you know what? It's perfect.
He's been in every single Marvel movie, as far as I understand.
It's perfect.
He's been in...
He's going to be in Captain Marvel. He's going to be in Infinity War 2, which closes out the decade-long Marvel franchise.
Well, he's even been in the ones that Disney hasn't owned. So he's even been in the Sony ones, all the Amazing Spider-Man Sony ones. He was in Fantastic Four, the original, owned by Sony.
He was also in a Teen Titans cartoon DC universe.
Was he really?
Yep.
Oh.
DC let him in a cameo.
But he's been in every single, at least, Disney-owned Marvel movie since they've been making them, as far as I understand. However, recent years have been a bit tumultuous for Stan Lee. He actually had a really bad bout of pneumonia. He had accusations of sexual misconduct, a $1 billion suit against his former company, POW Entertainment, because he claimed that his advisors have been preying on him financially. Siri erroneously informing the world that he was dead earlier this year. If you remember that, I remember that. They were saying that he was dead, but he wasn't. No. A bizarre report that his blood had been stolen to sign collectible comics, and his wife passed away last year after a stroke.
Okay,
so,
that's the one thing. When his wife passed away, I'm like, okay, Stan Lee's going to go pretty soon, because usually you see when they're that age and their spouse, croaks, usually they croak a little bit while later.
It's that whole...
Their heart breaks.
No, this is something I've always found fascinating between people who've been married or together for that long. It's almost like...
They don't want to live anymore.
Well, no, it's just like the other person provides an additional life force to the other person, and it's that.
Not my grandma.
And okay, well, thanks.
My grandpa died in 2005. My grandma's still fucking kicking.
Thanks for sharing.
Happy 87th birthday, Grandma, if you're listening.
But Stanley was also well known for coining the phrase Excelsior. That was one of his sayings that he would always say that people remember him for as well. So definitely the death of an icon who brought so much joy and imagination to people and a lot of money to Disney.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah, they bought Marvel for about, I think it was
That's another monopoly.
about
That's
$4 billion a couple of years ago.
That's the two company. Can you agree with me on this? The two companies I think about that control the world right now is Amazon and Disney.
Well, Disney controls a lot of the media, yes.
Amazon and Disney. Consumers' opinions on different products. Amazon, consumers' different opinions on movies. Disney.
Yes, but I'll tell you what, every single Marvel movie that Disney has made has been really good.
Get the no. Oh, you pissed me off.
What do you mean?
Star Wars.
I said
The
Marvel
Last Jedi.
movie.
You said Marvel?
Yes.
Sorry, I thought you just said Disney movie. I'm sorry. I thought you said Disney movies. Star Wars has been ruined by Disney, okay? We know this.
No.
Everybody knows this. Not everybody knows this.
Star Wars was ruined by the fact they were pumping out too many.
The Last Jedi was ruined by, what's his name?
We're not going to get into this.
That
We're circling back.
okay.
Anyhow.
Sorry. Rian Johnson.
Every single Marvel movie that Disney has put out has been very good because I think they've held true to the characters that Stan Lee created. And he wanted to put a lot of humanity into his characters. They're people too, even though they're superheroes. They're dealing with regular people problems.
You're talking about the actors?
The characters.
No, you're talking about the superhero characters?
Yes.
Superheroes, portrayed superheroes.
They're human. He always tried to make his characters appear human. Because when you think of a superhero, you think of somebody who's larger than life and they can't experience real-world problems. Well, as you know, for most of his characters, they all experience problems that you and I face.
Yeah, you're right. Thor.
Yes.
Thor did. Yep.
They're all human.
Yeah,
and they all deal with real-life struggles. And that's what he tried to convey through his characters, which is why they were so relatable.
So we can all connect with them.
Correct.
You can't connect with Superman.
Right.
So
that is why Stan Lee was a visionary, and he will be very much missed for his work in, well, everything that he's done.
Mm-hmm. I miss
Rest
that
in
guy.
peace.
I miss that guy already.
Rest rewatching all the movies.
I can't wait to see the next two movies in spring where he's cameoing in them.
Brett already told me he's dragging me to them whether I want to or not.
Dude, Nick, you would have dragged me to them. Shh. Okay.
Well, that about wraps up this segment's top news stories. So,
yeah, I'm drunk.
It's I know you are, Brett. It's time for our segment transition shot. Not that we've already done enough. Right?
You Frosty the Snowman was a I don't know why I started singing that. I don't know why I started singing that. I think I was thinking of Button Nose. Two eyes made out of coal. Frosty. Frosty the permafrost schnapps.
Here, make a noise.
Meh. I'm gonna soundbite that. Meh. Meh. Go.
Oh, thank Christ.
Take shot of your choice. I'm gonna do Bailey's.
Because we're gonna be doing enough of everything.
Why am I pouring the shots? I'm drunk as fuck.
You're making a mess of my house. No, that's white cloth.
You just wiped it up with white cloth.
Sometimes, Nick, I don't get you at all mentally.
Was a Holly.
Why? No.
No, stop.
No.
Mine's too full.
No, it isn't.
There you go. Now it's good.
No, it isn't.
That's a shot. This is a shot. Stop it.
Fine.
Shots to the Shotcast. Jesus Christ. That's some good shit, man. Oh, yeah, Nick's licking that up.
Well, We're going to take a brief break and we'll be right
No, we're
back
not.
for the next
We're
segment.
He's choking me. He's choking me.
Knock it off, bitch.
Well, Brett's reached the point of no return, so we're going to keep going. So, we're going to bring in this segment, as we always do, with a shot.
No, we already did one.
Yeah, that was the transition into the... Okay, I guess you're right, we did
That
one.
we already did one.
Fine.
What are you talking about? What the fuck, man?
You know what, Brett? Someday, you're going to get what's coming to you.
Hey, Dios mío!
Anyhow, we're going to move into segment 1.5, which is our favorite news stories from the past year.
Yep, and mine is SpaceX rocket launch.
Go
Where
ahead, Brett.
Where Elon Musk took a rocket and he put his Tesla into outer space. And word is that Tesla has already made its way towards the sun. And it's going to burn up pretty quick here. Listen back to that episode if you want to know more. Nick, take it away.
No, that's not how this works.
You know what?
You
never really told me how this is supposed to work.
You're going to read through some of the story to remind
Well, I mean,
people-
like,
Read through some of the story.
I'm doing it. Shut up. On Tuesday, I don't know when, SpaceX, the privately funded aerospace manufacturer, test launched its Falcon Heavy rocket into space.
This was back...
Entrepreneur
This was a while
Elon
ago.
Musk, who smoked weed on Joe Rogan's podcast and got fired, is the CEO and founder. Not anymore. The Falcon Heavy launch is significant, as this is the company's first attempt at launching a rocket with a heavy payload into space. Tell you what, I got some heavy payloads myself. All right. The rocket's payload consisted of a full-size Tesla Roadster.
Damn.
Car, complete with a dummy astronaut named Starman. No, that should be Star-Lord. The Roadster sat atop the Falcon Heavy second stage Tesla Roadster Easter eggs. What the fuck does that mean, huh? Easter eggs? What? Is that like the fucking balls of the rocket? I don't know. On the dashboard sits a tiny Roadster and a spaceman, eh? Hey, the dashboard screen displays Don't Panic, eh? A reference to the cover of the guide in the novel The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Made on Earth by humans, is printed on the car's circuit board. In the car is a disc with additional...
Why are you reading it verbatim?
I am a verbatim person.
No, you're not. Why don't you just talk about what happened and summarize
They
it?
launched a fucking car into space, and the car is gliding into our sun. That's the story. People know, okay? People have seen the video. The video has recently gone down because it's too far away from Earth now, but they are portraying that it is going towards the sun and it's going to burn up pretty quick. That's the story. You want it? You got it? You got it? Good. Okay? That's the story. All right? You got it? Nick, say you got it.
I'm afraid if I don't say I got
You
it.
shut up, okay? There's a plaque in the car engraved with the names of 6,000 SpaceX employees. That's pretty cool, eh? I'd like my name in space. Wouldn't you like your name in space, Nick? Eh? Nick Myers, right there across the Milky Way galaxy, right there, eh? Going across Mars, SpaceX, Nick Myers. Anyways, the plan. The plan trajectory. Stop! Don't look at me like that. I need to talk like I'm from Boston, okay? The plan trajectory of the Roadster payload was planned for Mars orbit. Ow. Don't you dare do that! Don't poke my eyes out. Stop! Stop with that snake bite shit, eh? The planned trajectory of the Roadster payload was planned for a Mars orbit. However, Ow! Fuck! You say your story then if you're fucking so confident about your stories, huh? Do it! Ah! Ow! Stop it!
I am the Viper.
Want me to do that to you? Want me to do it to you? Want me to do it to you? Go, read your story.
You didn't finish.
You don't even fucking like my story. You're trying to viper me.
You didn't finish.
If you don't know what vipering is, it's Pretending that a snake bit your neck, and that's what Nick's doing to me. Okay,
Where's the car now, Brett?
It's about to burn up in the sun. That's where it's at right now. And that was about a month ago. I read the story up. It's about to burn in the sun. The planned trajectory of the Roadster payload was planned for a Mars orbit. It's not making it to Mars. It was off course. It's going into our sun. It's going to burn up and it's going to melt. That's the truth. However, the rocket overshot and the Roadster is on its way to the asteroid belt, traveling at 7 miles per second. Must confirm that the Falcon Heavy. This is really sad.
Anyhow, Brett and I talked about this back in December of last year, and the Federal Communications Commission, otherwise known as the FCC, voted to end the Obama-era net neutrality regulations on internet service providers, which is very bad because this means that the internet service providers can throttle internet speed based on a bunch of different factors.
Oh, you're talking about net neutrality.
Yeah? What did you think I was
Whatever
talking
happened
about?
to whatever ended up happened to Pie Boy?
Who's Pie Boy?
That pie guy. What's the guy that was in charge of all that?
Yeah, Ajit Pai is still the FCC commissioner.
He's still the leader of all that.
Yes.
We haven't heard about him at all.
No, not after this.
What a
So
piece of
basically,
crap.
last year, the vote was 3-2, with 2 Democratic commissioners on the FCC voting against the deregulation, and the 2 Republican commissioners voting in favor. What?
Do you think the House, being Democrat now, can overturn this?
There's actually, I just was catching up on some of this as I was inputting the information, and there is speculation. Well, the Supreme Court turned down an appeal to deal with it because it's Republican controlled, of course.
Yeah, shit.
However, there is speculation that with the House being Democratic controlled, that they could maybe put a bill to the floor reinstating net neutrality.
Okay.
It's probably not going to happen, though.
Yeah, probably not.
But I thought this was interesting because this, even though it doesn't seem like a big deal, it truly was.
Oh, it was
Because
a huge deal.
Net neutrality was huge protections for the consumer in terms of open source internet. And, well, now it's back in the hands of the big corporations who are just looking to make a profit.
It was like big company putting their like hands on like Ford automobiles when they were first invented, so they
Right.
can't like turn them into flying cars.
And Ajit Pai's argument was that net neutrality stifled the internet service providers.
bull. It's
Like-
all fake
Like
bull crap.
Comcast, AT&T, and all these big companies from innovating.
No. You know what Comcast did? They put money in Ajit Pai's fucking pocket. So now he has the
Well,
incentive to
did
fuck
you-
over the American people. That's
did
what
you-
they fucking did.
Did you know that Ajit Pai used to actually be a lawyer for Verizon, who was also an internet
Of course
service
he
provider?
was. I don't know. Ajit Pai, he can. I'm not gonna say it. Just.
But anyhow-
I'm not gonna edit more of this podcast. Just continue, Nick.
I'm just saying that basically a year ago, a lot of these protections that guaranteed that our internet wouldn't be throttled and that certain service providers wouldn't be throttled, like Netflix, Hulu, and some of these streaming services, was removed. And in a year since then, I guess nothing's really happened.
Well, no. It takes a year to go into effect.
More than that.
Well, the years. I said 2020.
There's still a chance
I
that
said 2020. We'll
there's still
see
a
effects
chan-
from this.
There's still a chance that the Democrat-controlled House could do something.
No, you can go back to the podcast that we did this about, the episode. I said 2020, we're going to see effects from this. Because it's not going to take effect until 2020. They can't do shit about it until the laws are overturned from the prolonged period that they changed it from, right?
It takes a while for this type
Of
stuff to go into effect, yes.
It takes a while.
But under the Obama-era regulations, no internet service providers were allowed to favor certain content providers who they were affiliated with. So it made a level playing field. Well, that level playing field has now become a football field, and whoever is the best team is going to win.
Goddamn Patriots.
So, yeah, net neutrality is still a very important topic that I think a lot of people should still be arguing for.
Yeah, you know
and
what?
aware of,
Come 2020, you're going to miss 2005.
because internet still has not been designated a public utility as much as I think it should be.
I consider 2005 to 2010 the peak of internet. That's when it was the wild, wild west. Anybody could do whatever they wanted.
Well-
and now there's so many rules and regulations
here's
this
the
past
deal.
8 years.
Here's the deal. In the
2010,
in the next
2008,
5 years, they're planning on deploying 5G. And if they actually do that, That means you can access the internet from anywhere. You could be standing in the middle of a cornfield in Nebraska
I
and
don't-
access the
I
internet
don't
and
care.
full bandwidth.
That's
I'm just saying.
That's because of Tesla.
No, this is other companies doing this as well.
I thought Elon Musk was gonna.
Yeah, he's constructing his own thing too, but there's Qualcomm, there's a bunch of other
Oh,
providers.
there's
investing
other
in the
companies. There's other companies.
Absolutely.
There's companies that are like
Yeah.
quarreling with him.
Brett, there's been...
I thought he was the only one doing that.
No.
Well, my bad. I didn't know that. So, Nick knows more than me.
But
on
I'm
this
just
then.
saying, if they ever get 5G connectivity working, then that's going to draw on a lot of these net neutrality questions, because
Well-
at that point you'll be able to stand in the middle of a cornfield in Iowa or
Well, hey,
Nebraska and
hey.
get full bandwidth internet.
For people that don't know, what we use now is telephone, towers. You know those huge ass
Cell towers is what Brett meant to say
Shut up.
for LTE.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say shut up. Sorry.
You really are telling me to
Just-
shut up a lot.
At least I'm recognizing it. Compared to other podcasts where I don't recognize it. But there's cell towers right now. You know what I'm talking about. Those big ass towers that blink to show airplanes that you're going to run into the big tower and don't run into it. But what the companies are doing now is they are launching satellites throughout the globe, and these satellites are going to have a connected web service for us to have 5G for our cell phones.
Did you actually know the only way?
So wherever you are, you can have 5G.
Did you actually know the only way for a global IoT network to work is to have 5G connectivity?
I didn't know that. So
Do you know what I mean by that?
So the satellites they are putting into space have to have 5G. They cannot have 4G LTE because the satellites will not work connecting 4G LTE.
No, I'm talking
right?
about...
Is that what you mean?
I'm talking about a global IoT network. So remember what I talked about at that meetup earlier in the week where you have the connected home and everything works together in the car and all that stuff?
Yes.
You need a global IoT network, but the only way for that to be possible is if you have internet everywhere, which is what 5G would provide.
So what I just said is 4G LTE cannot work with global connectivity.
Correct.
All right.
This would mean you can be standing in Africa and you can have internet.
Yes, that's very cool. So you're saying that a person in Nigeria will have 5G
Correct.
if they have a smartphone.
If they get it working.
If they have a smartphone.
Right.
Okay.
You wouldn't be bound by location-based cell towers anymore. It would be an integrated satellite network.
It's just throughout the air.
Correct.
Do you think that would affect nature?
No.
The wavelengths?
We're already buzzed
know that.
with internet waves. Okay, Brett. Anyhow,
I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying this whole net neutrality story that we talked about a year ago is still, I find, very important, and I think people have kind of forgot about it, and they shouldn't,
People probably didn't even know about it.
which is sad because I actually watched the congressional
Do you know how
debate and hearing on this thing at work.
Do you know how many people think that net neutrality is still a bad thing? Like half the population thinks that net
They don't
neutrality.
understand what it is. That's the problem.
No, that's what I'm saying. They don't. They think it's a bad thing. Do you remember we were talking to our friend? Remember we were talking to our friend, and he thought that net neutrality was a bad thing, and we had to explain to him that net neutrality is actually a good thing. It's what's keeping everything into place, and it's what keeping everything equal. And
Well-
he was like, net neutrality needs to happen, or no, it needs to be stopped. Because he thought net neutrality was Ajit Jampai. Take Ajit, did I say it right?
You said it wrong.
Probably. Ajit Jampai. Edited. Just Nick talk, please. I'm drunk. I'm drunk.
My point
Think
with
I'm John.
my point with this pretty much is, in order, the problem was the government put internet service in the hands of private business, which was not a good idea, which we talked about, and we know that the government had allocated certain percentage of funds to build a public fiber network, which would have resolved a lot of these issues, but they didn't, and it's now in the hands of private business, which has led to these problems.
Because private business can do whatever the hell they want.
Correct.
So even a drunk man can know that.
Well, Brett's always been very impassioned about this topic, so
True, because it affects my livelihood. Next.
I wasn't done.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I apologize,
You're
Nick.
telling me
Please
to shut up. You're cutting into what I'm talking about.
Nick, I'm very sorry. Please continue.
You're also very drunk right now. Yep, yeah, you are.
You know what, Nick? You know what kind of makes me mad?
Hey, you see the back of this hand? That's me knowing you.
Funny. Nick, do you know what makes me kind of mad? When we do these episodes, I get way more drunk than you, and I look absolutely stupid. You do
Brett,
not.
I hope
You do not.
No, I hope you know.
You don't get drunk as me,
No.
and you look smart.
No.
And I look stupid
Brett?
because I get so...
Brett.
I get way more drunk than you do.
No. You want to know? I am just about as drunk as you are, but I have this uncanny ability to maintain whatever part of my brain it is that...
No. I don't believe that.
You don't have to believe it.
I don't believe it. I don't
have to.
I don't think you know what's going through my head at all. I think you think you're drunk, but you're not at all.
Well, that's, I guess, perspective.
And I gotta take a pee. So keep talking.
Well, that about wraps it up with net neutrality. We are going to take another short break and then reel it in. Well, we're going into our next segment now, so
Hi,
time
everybody.
for
Here's
another
laughing.
wheel. Yes?
Permafrost. Uller.
All right. First time we're doing this.
Uller, you ready for some Uller? Listen to this. Hey, listen to this. This is called a cork. Ah, it sucked.
That was really...
That was bad. I had some wine earlier this week, and it sounded way better than that.
I'm
Here
going
you
to pour
go.
my own.
I don't like Uller. It's because we've had it before.
Brett,
and
that
it's not
is
good.
nowhere near a full shot.
Yes, it is. Do you not see that? That's half.
It is. Okay.
You're getting... It's the frost from the Jack Daniels. Shots to the Shotcast.
I'm going to wash that down with...
That wasn't as bad. That's Christmas. Nick! It tastes like Christmas. It tastes like Christmas in the month of November before Thanksgiving. Wash it down with some hard liquor.
Brett, just think about... Think of how much...
I feel like asshole.
No, you don't.
Wiping. No, I don't.
You will tomorrow morning. Just think about how much joy this podcast has brought to us. Just us. I mean, in the past year.
Hey, you know what? If I wasn't doing this podcast, I would hate my life. Next.
What? Why?
Nick? Oh my God! What the fuck?
Under new pants. That's okay.
Yeah,
What were you saying?
It'll go away. Do you know what my life would be without this podcast? Video games, my job that has fucked me over. That's it. Oh, and Microsoft course in school, but that's going to start now in the next springtime.
Well, I think we reached the point where we can start getting a bit more personal and deep as we review. As we officially move into our second segment, which is a Shotcast year in review. So, Brett, using your third of your brain that you have available right now, what are some of your favorite Shotcast memories?
Man. Anyways, the thing that I think back of, it's okay. So if anybody ever asks, and I'm experienced with this actually, because my grandma's birthday was yesterday, and I was with my family for a whole day, and they always ask me they always ask me, Brett, what are you up to now? And I say, oh, I'm doing a podcast. Oh, how did you start the podcast? And I always say to myself, I was with my friends. I was with my friend Nick, Parker, and Schwob, and I was walking down the sidewalk with Nick. And while we were walking down the sidewalk to the fair at Lodi, we thought to ourselves, wouldn't it be funny if we did a podcast and during the podcast we just took shots, and by the end of it we were drunk as shit by the end of the podcast? And Nick always said, that would be awesome, that'd be fun. And then Parker turned around and said, that's actually a good idea for a podcast. If you guys by the end of the podcast were just plastered and just drunk as shit. And I thought, you know what, that's actually a good idea. And Nick was like, that's actually a good idea. We should try and do that. And like, I think that's in July, the Lodi Fair. So July, August, October, November. November, we actually started doing it, and we tried it out, and we got really drunk for our first podcast, which we never posted for some reason. Did we post that?
No.
We didn't post that for some reason. Then the next podcast was our Forbidden podcast, which was a year ago. This is why we're doing the year-end podcast. Our Forbidden podcast was a year ago, and it was forbidden for a reason because it's actually very embarrassing and it will never be heard by anybody until we have a million likes on our podcast. And then after that, we just started doing it. And we started doing this podcast from December, January, February, March, April, May, June. And I think it was around May and June that we saw some likes on our podcast. We saw some actual listens. And then we're like, we should take this seriously. It was like July, August, September. We're like, wow, we're getting like 300 listens, 400 listens. And then it was, August, September, October, November till now. And we're like, we're over like 1,000 listens now. Like, this is actually like, people are actually listening to this. Like, we should take it seriously. We should get our own website. We should get this on iTunes and all that.
Which hasn't happened yet.
We're going to do it, but, we got to take it more seriously because people are actually listening to this. And, like, it's over 1,000 listens. That's actually, in my opinion, it's very impressive because 1,000 listens on SoundCloud, no offense to SoundCloud, it's not a popular platform to listen to podcasts, but 1,000 listens on that is impressive to us. So it's impressive. So like going from like me talking to Nick last year on a sidewalk about what we should do to a year later, 1,000 listens on our podcast, our idea, it's a good thing. So what's your thoughts?
I'm going to take it a bit more emotional than you.
I'm not emotional at all. Nick is, so take it away, Ern.
No, I mean, for me, I guess, looking back at the year of the podcast, I guess 2018 alone for me has been a very, very important yet unbelievable year of growth. And
in the sense of the podcast or personally?
I would say it's a mixture of both because the podcast has been a part of that the entire time.
Yeah.
And I'm a very busy person. I work full time. I run my own business on the side. I am on the board of a local marketing organization here in Madison. And then I volunteer when I get the chance. And I guess the podcast is a bit of an outlet for me. So taking that into account, when Brett originally came to me about this, because we had been in my business prior to that, I was a bit afraid. I was a bit hesitant.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Sure.
Before all of this, I was in Nick's business starting January 2017. From January 2017 to October 2017, I was in Nick's personal business.
Right.
That ended, and then we started this podcast. I ended Nick's business. Nick continued.
No, Brett left my business. That's what it was. Or left our business at the time.
I said that wrong. I personally left Nick's business. Nick continued his own business.
Right.
After October 2017. And that's when we started the podcast.
Right.
It was November 2017.
I was a bit hesitant after, Brett and I had been in our business for about 7, 8, 9 months. And I was a bit hesitant to jump into something like this again with him because, there was a couple things that went down. Of course, everything.
Very dramatic.
Ultimately, we were still really good friends at the end of all of it, but I was very hesitant to jump into this. But ultimately, when I did, it became almost a weekly outlet for me to have fun and talk about things that I care about and make a lot of memories and be able to share my opinion not only with Britt but with everybody listening as well.
Do you want to explain what the business was? Your business?
No, that's not relevant.
No? Okay.
But I will say that I am a lifelong learner. I believe in always trying something new because you can learn something from it. And whether you totally screw it up or not, if you screw it up, that means you actually are going to learn more from it. And I wanted to give this a go because I constantly try and challenge myself to try new things. And I will say at this point a year in, I am quite surprised where Brett and I are at with this. And I definitely know it can be bigger. I definitely know that it can grow. I definitely thank each and every one of you for listening, the listeners that we do have, and for sticking with us if you have been for a couple of months now. Even if it's necessarily people that I don't necessarily talk to anymore, I thank you for listening anyhow.
Probably you probably don't want to talk to anybody.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I've been doing a lot of reflecting lately, and I have a very good mentor and friend in my life, and I will definitely say that when I started this, I was in a position where I constantly wanted more and more and more, and I wasn't really aware of all of the good things that I had in my life at the time, and wasn't for a while. And I would say over the past couple of months, and this podcast has been a part of that for me, is I can say that I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm grateful for the things that I've been able to do over the past year, which have been phenomenal. And I know that there are many people at the age of 24 who have not been able to do the different things that I have, that there's a lot of people who don't have a friendship that I can share with Brett on a daily basis. I'm grateful for Brett in general for bringing me into this and giving me something to look forward to every week with my best friend. I'm grateful for a lot of things right now, and I've been doing a lot of reflecting on that. And, you go through life and you meet a lot of different people, and everybody takes a different priority in your life, but I am very honored and humbled that I can truly look at Brett doing this podcast as the older brother I never had, and knowing that he, no matter where we go through this podcast or through our friendship, will always be there for me, is something that I am truly, truly grateful for. And I don't think people are grateful enough for the things that they have in their life and the people that they have that really make an impact on them. And I highly encourage you all, if you don't have a person that you can go to talk about things that are really important to you, or somebody that can truly understand you or understand who you are, your soul as a person, to really try and search for that, whatever that means may be, because I cannot be thankful enough to have someone like Brett in my life. Not just through this podcast, but through various things, because they make a difference in you as a person, and they affect every day in your life. And I just want to say thank you to Brett for putting up with me this long. And I guess, I may have publicly talked on here that I plan on moving to Seattle maybe by the end of August. And, of course, I'll miss my family and I'll miss a lot of different things. But I think the thing that I'm going to miss the most is Brett. There's just a invisible force that I guess starts building between you and a really good friend that they're family. And I'm really going to miss him when I move. And I really hope that we can keep doing this. And I love him. to pieces, and I would do anything for him. But just if you haven't found that person yet that makes your day better every time you talk to them, I really would recommend you do, because Brett's that person for me. And even though we argue and we pick on each other and
That's just our.
we do different things, Brett's my brother. And when I move, the hardest part is gonna have to be to say goodbye to him and not see him as often. And I love him so much. And I can't thank him enough for bringing me into this podcast, because I've enjoyed every week of this since we started a year ago, and I love him so much, and I can't be grateful enough for everything that we've been able to do with this. So that's what I have to say. And Brett's actually
Shut up!
Brett's actually tearing
Shut
up right
up!
now.
Shut up! No, I'm not.
Because I think Brett feels the same way, and Brett's not an emotional person, but I draw it out. I do.
Yep. You son of a bitch.
And I think Brett and I both know that when I do end up moving, things are going to change. But
Things will change, but we've agreed, right, Nick, that like the podcast will still go on because we'll use like Skype and all that.
the podcast and our friendship will go on.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
it's never going to change. I think
Exactly.
when you're friends with somebody for as long as we've
I want to
been,
keep. When you move, I want to keep doing this with you. Okay.
absolutely. And
All right.
I think when you're friends with somebody as long as we have been, and you have a relationship like we do where it's so natural, it's going to last a lifetime.
Yep.
And I cannot be more grateful for life giving me this opportunity.
That was a good one. That got me. That was good. Yep. A hug. Yep. Hug, big buddy. Our little buddy. Love you, man. I love that we've been able to do this for about a year now. Okay.
I can't believe it's been a year.
That was.
By the way, Brett never tears up, so
I never tear up, and I just teared up.
I knew going into this I was going to make that statement, and Brett's drinking more to try and drown out the feelings.
Yep.
But I know deep down Brett feels the same way that I do about all this,
yeah,
and
of course I do. I don't express it like you do, like. But
I'm very good at talking.
What you just said brought it out, so you just saw it. So shut up.
The reason I said that is because I know there's people out there who are not as lucky as we are to have
You're right.
a relationship with someone like we do, And Brett and I are unique. We both were only children. We both grew up having to entertain ourselves, and I think the fact that we were able to find each other and realize, oh shit, there's some other freaking weirdo dumbass who's just like me out there, If I could pull out the parchment paper and relive every experience that Brett and I have had, not only through this podcast but through our friendship with you, I would be the happiest person on the planet, because they've all been such positive memories. But
Yep. Pretty much.
I think that really sums up the core of what this podcast is about for us. It's not just about bringing you the weekly news. It's not just about bringing you these different segments. It's about us showcasing to you us as friends and us as people, to be able to give our personalities and give our insight into the things that really matter.
Yep.
Because I don't think there's another avenue for that. And I think there's a lot of people out there who are afraid to take the leap into something like this and become vulnerable and take that extra step into, telling people what they think. And I think that's something that needs to really be truly valued, especially in the time and place that we're at right now. And I think Brett and I do that very well. And even though Brett may not necessarily see himself this way, he is one of the most intelligent, one of the most passionate, and he has the biggest heart. The biggest heart out of anyone I've ever met. Well, I shouldn't. Well, yeah, he has a very big heart. I've met a lot of people who are very positive, but Brett gives his all.
No. Hey, Nick, I'll help you out there. The only competition I think that I have is Schwob.
Yeah.
Schwob.
Yeah, I would agree with that. My friend Schwob
is awesome. I love Schwob. He's helped me out. He's helped Nick out. He's a great person. And I think you need to listen to this podcast, right, Nick?
I've learned over the years that I think our reason for being is to connect with other people. And society tells us that it's about career, it's about money, it's about all these different things, but at the end of the day, it's about building a relationship with somebody else and having them change your life.
Yep. It's about connections, it's about family, it's about friends, it's not about money. I can tell you that right now. I thought that when I was 18, 17. It's all about money and getting ahead in life. Life isn't about that at all. Life is about friends and family. And when you have friends and family to like lift you up and put you forward in life, that's all you need. That is all you need. All you need.
Because money will come with what you love doing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm a testament to that.
And when you have the money, but you also have the family and friends with the money, you don't need the money. All you need is the friends and family. That's all you need. That's all you need. That's what happiness brings, is family and friends. Money doesn't bring that. Money brings expensive stuff. Money brings boats. Money brings skidoos on the lake.
Cars.
In summer. Money brings cars. That's all it brings. And you know what? It doesn't matter in the end. And that's what I found out in my 26 years of experiences. Money doesn't bring you experience. Well, you know what? Money does bring you experience, but it doesn't bring you happiness, in my opinion. Money brings you extra things in your life.
But it can't replace what's important.
Yeah, exactly. Money doesn't replace friends. Money doesn't replace happiness. Money doesn't replace friends. Your friends replace that. And in turn, your friends replace happiness and your family replaces happiness. And that's where you're at. And I found that out 26 years into life. And I feel sorry for people that don't realize that 50 years down the road. When finally you have that Corvette you want, but the Corvette doesn't give you happiness. And you have to look backwards into life. You have to look backwards into that your family actually gives you the happiness. Your friends actually give you the happiness. You yourself gives you that happiness. The Corvette does not. So that's what I have to say.
All right, well.
I'm going to go take a pee.
We're still on the second segment. We'll hang on with another shot, actually, before we bring in actually reviewing the Shotcast. We're recording right now, yes. Take 2 shots of your choice.
You said take a shot of your choice, right?
2 shots of your choice.
Oh, okay, a shot, right?
Yep, a shot, actually. Give me the Uller.
You spilt.
Goddamn Bounty.
Bounty. Bum, 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 bum. Shots to the Shotcast.
Drown out the sadness.
I'm getting to that point where I'm like not happy anymore, drunk.
Oh, Brett, you're fine. All right, let's get over to... So, Brett, what are some of your favorite memories that you have of this year?
I thought I said that already.
Did we do that?
Or that's story-wise.
Story-wise. I guess one of my favorite memories is when
doing this is my favorite
One of
memory.
my favorite memories is when we were at your apartment actually recording this, which we haven't done in a couple of months.
Couple?
But in one
It's
of
been
our
4 months.
Yeah, but in one of our segments, we started talking about the 90s, and we started reminiscing about
Yeah,
different
I
things
that.
about the 90s and
Yeah.
things that we remember, because we were talking about something in the second segment. I can't remember if it was about the internet or something else, but that was one of my favorite
dial-up
memories.
and all that crap.
And then I think from one of the earlier Shotcasts we did, you got so drunk you passed out in your bathroom with your pants down. That was pretty funny.
I've done that multiple times.
You have, but I think the highlight of most of these Shotcasts for me is just how, I'm able to talk about something, but then you pick it up really quick, and then we're able to run with it. And
Have you noticed that?
yeah,
I pick something up always quickly.
but yeah, there's a lot of different memories. There was also that break we took where I put the morph suit on, which I think was just in the past couple of months, and then we started sword fighting.
That wasn't even drinking. You just did that.
Right.
Brought us back to childhood.
There was that time where we were recording an episode and I wanted to go downtown really bad, but got so drunk off of the wine and the fruit punch that we were doing that I vomited into your toilet in your bathroom, and I couldn't go downtown.
And then Bryce came over and got me downtown, and I made out with some really heavyweight girl. And she wanted to go on a date in the morning, but I was like, I don't know about that.
There was also that time too where
that one.
there was also a time that stands out to me where you did not plan on getting that drunk at all, and we had bought a thing of Jaeger for the podcast, and the next thing I know, 2 hours in, I'm dragging you across the floor into my bedroom, and you're passing out.
Well, that's because Sienna was here, and she wanted
No,
to,
Brett, this was months before.
Wait, that wasn't because of Sienna?
No, that was way before that episode.
I just passed out, and I was drunk in your
we were
bedroom.
doing constant shots of Jaeger.
Son of a bitch.
I will say one of my favorite episodes, even though I was sick and didn't really talk, was listening to you and our first guest, Sienna, going back and forth about different things. Was actually quite entertaining. Brett and I have been doing this for a couple of months, so we have a lot of different memories. But I think early on when we were doing the different segments where we would talk about videos of the week, remember that Spider-Man video where the guy broke his neck early on and everything?
No,
Brett, that was like one of the first episodes.
don't ask. Just go.
I'm telling you, I'm reminiscing.
Yep.
Like a lot of those,
I don't remember.
a lot of those
Keep
early,
going.
a lot of those early episodes where we would do the top YouTube videos and different things. And the second segment has actually switched quite a bit since Brett and I started doing.
Yeah,
this.
you
It's-
bet your ass it has.
Yeah, it's evolved about
The second segment is of good news story. We talk about negative shit the whole fucking time.
No, Brett, the second segment we started switching out. What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Right.
Go. Keep going.
I'm just saying when we originally started this, Brett and I actually, the second segment was something we were trying to figure out to turn from top YouTube videos to, it was a bunch of different things that Brett and I tried to do to
we
see.
want it to be positive.
Right, because the first segment was top news, which is always negative.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we finally found our sweet spot with rotating things out every week.
Yep, you're right.
But I would ultimately say that,
Did you get one that's positive?
what are you talking about?
The second segment. Did you get one that's positive?
We're talking about conspiracy theories for this podcast, remember?
All right. You're right.
By the
You're
way,
right.
everybody, Brett is about at a 13 right
Out
now.
of 10.
Out of 10. And
I'm
I
done.
can tell. Brett is more than drunk, which is exactly what I wanted because
He's right.
this is the best way to bring in, I think, exactly what we're doing right now. And I think over the past year, Brett and I have learned a lot. We've learned what's worked, what hasn't, and this has just been of our own accord. It hasn't even been necessarily because of feedback. It's because of what we've
have a good
experimented
idea.
with. What?
I think I have a great idea.
What's your great idea, Brett?
What's the next month?
December of 2018.
What should we do for December?
I don't know.
What correlates with me and my personality?
Video games.
You know this. Not video games.
Harry Potter.
You're close. What else?
Marvel, Star Wars.
Okay, you're over the top now, but what's 11 out of 10, 11 out of 12 for you? For me.
What? Oh, a new guest. Brett and I are trying to figure out how to bring in a new guest to the Shotcast because we realize it's just us talking every time. But we'd like to start bringing in a guest to bring in a new dynamic. And our test was with Sienna, and I think it went really well.
Oh, that went so well. I listened back to that on the editing and all that. Woo! That was a good fucking
And I think Brett and I
podcast.
would agree that it's time to start opening it up to more guests, which are mainly our friends, but I think people who can provide an additional perspective into things that we're talking about.
What Nick is trying to say is our next guest is going to be Kyle. What's his last name?
We're not going to say his last name right now.
What's his last name start with?
Okay, our friend Kyle Fetters. We're gonna try and
No, you shouldn't.
we're gonna try and get him on here for December.
Follow him on
I guess.
Instagram, Fetters. His cat. His cat has a patch eye. I love you, Kyle.
Anyhow.
You're a fucking favorite.
We're trying.
Anyways, our future guest is gonna be Adam Swanson.
No, it isn't.
His name's AF.
No, that never was a thing.
He wanted to be a guest.
So I think Brett and I have covered enough about reminiscing about the Shotcast from this year. So as we do, especially during the 1 year anniversary, we are going to spin the wheel, take a shot, and then move into our next segment. Right, Brett? Brett, how are you doing?
Fine.
Oh boy.
What do you want?
Well, Brett, I want you to do permafrost. You want me to do Corazon?
Yeah, what do you want? What do you want me to do?
I want you to do permafrost.
I want you to do permafrost then.
Fine. Match for match.
You're a fucking dickhead. I wasn't gonna make you do that.
Go big or go home. Jesus Christ. Give me the bottle. Give me the top. Give me the top. No. That's not how this works. Okay, actually, that is how this works. All right, there you go. Give me the top. Oh, shit. Brett, here. Take this paper towel and wipe that up. No? Okay, you're using my dish towel. All right. All right, Brett and I are back with our segment 3 finally, which is our topic of the week, which this week we're focusing on conspiracy theories. So, Brett, your conspiracy theory is a higher world order plans to implant chips in all of us for total control. Would you care to elaborate?
I don't agree with that shit at all.
Why?
It's bullshit.
Why is it bullshit?
That never happened. They're just trying to control us via fucking you.
What?
The New World Order is going to implant.
Okay, I'll take care of it. If you can, I'll take care of it. Okay, so Brett thinks that a New World Order... Brett, what do you think the New World Order is?
They're going to take control of us
Why?
with chips.
Okay, so a New World Order is going to plant microchips under our skin.
Funyuns.
No.
Funyuns.
Nope. Okay, so a New World Order is going to... a New World Order is going to plant microchips under our skin that dates back 30 years but will now really happen. And the theory goes, as the government operators force everyone to accept radio frequency identity chips, RFID, under their skin so that everyone can be tracked. This can be achieved stealthily through vaccinations or other nefarious means, which is why I don't get the flu shot anymore. When was the last time you got the flu shot?
Never.
Why?
Didn't need it.
So, the evidence boils down to this. It is possible to implant RFID chips in people we already do it to, such as dogs or cats. So, Brett, read your own personal opinion.
Where?
Right
Where?
here.
In my own personal opinion, I don't believe
The government is going to
that the government is going to
ever do this, but I believe they already have the ability through our smartphones and other mechanisms. So, Brett, if you don't believe this, you know what? I bet that if I say a certain string of numbers, because I actually believe this, I actually believe the government's trying to control us. Brett? Oh, God, no, you're fading. Oh, Jesus Christ. No. How drunk are you?
12, 13.
Hello everyone, Brett here. As you can probably tell from the audio we have, I didn't make it to the end. Got a little bit too drunk there. It is a couple days after us recording that that audio, and we could not finish it. We both lost our way, let's say, and just let the audio run. So it was about an hour or so of just nobody talking or anything, just sitting there, just silence. So edit all that out, and I thought I should add something here. Obviously, Nick says goodbye to everybody. Thanks for listening to this 1 year. We didn't get to like half the stuff we wanted to do because we drank too much. But that's the point of the podcast, right? It's called the Shotcast. We just probably should have taken less shots probably to finish it all out. Which I told Nick that, but he wanted to go all out, and that's what I did. And because of that, couldn't finish the podcast. So this is my outro for the podcast. I'm just going to fit this in here. We're going to be coming out. Let's see what we got going on next week. Thanksgiving weekend. Nothing is going on. We will be taking that weekend off just because of all the Thanksgiving stuff. Nick's going to be in Illinois. I'll be with my family and stuff. So won't be a podcast for that next weekend. Or this weekend, I should say, rather. And what's after that? We have, let's see here. So this weekend is Thanksgiving. And then next weekend after that, technically that's the first day in December, but we'll probably do it Friday, so that's still November. So the next Drunkcast would be the 7th or 8th of December. So next week, November 30th, that's when we'll record the next Shotcast. And obviously we won't be going all out. We'll actually be coherent for an hour. And then 7th of December and the 8th, somewhere in there, we'll record our next Drunkcast. And obviously plan on drinking less, but still getting... What I told Nick after the next morning after this podcast was, I would like to drink to the point where I'm fun and don't go over the border into complete asshole to where I'm a blithering idiot drunk. I'd like to get to my fun, funny drunk and just be casual with you guys and stuff. Like, because I obviously get to a point, as you could hear, where I turn into an asshole. And I honestly, my Nick equates it to opening a zipper up on my forehead and pulling my scalp back and throwing my brain on the ground in a trash bin. So, with that being said, here's a goodbye from Nick, I'm sure, if he was here, and a goodbye from me. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, like, share, subscribe, wherever on Instagram, wherever you listen to. Also follow us on SoundCloud. And then Nick has a bunch of time to work on the website and getting the website done for iTunes and all that this weekend. So he finally has some free time because he is the web creator guy. He knows how to create websites. So I don't trust myself to do that because he has more experience than me in that. So hopefully he gets that done. And yeah, thank you for listening. You all have a good rest of your day. Bye.